This programme was made with support from the National Lottery Heritage Fund. On the Heritage Channel tonight, cabaret dancing from Grimsby Docks, stories from Weelsby Hall and postcards from Cleethorpes. Welcome to the Heritage Channel, where we explore the fascinating history and heritage of North East Lincolnshire. If you've been into Grimsby Town Centre recently, you may have noticed that work on the regeneration programme is now progressing apace, and the Hammond House Productions team have been following its progress. Repurposing historic buildings is an important part of the regeneration programme, including the conversion of a range of Grade 2 listed 19th century granary stores overlooking the river into a large multi-purpose space for young people in the area.
Oh my goodness, look, it's being built. Every time I drive past, there is a new set of tiles, there is new parts of the building that's up. It really is horizon rising. What's important about a youth zone and what is special about a youth zone is the amount of opportunity it brings to our young people. We have over 26,000 young people in North East Lincolnshire, and we need to work together as a community to make sure that we are supporting as many of those young people as possible.
I'm really excited about the regeneration in this particular area because we can work with those regeneration projects to make sure that there's somewhere for them to go onto where they feel safe, where they feel supported, where they are seeing opportunities in real life.
We will get our hands on it in the summer. We will then work towards a grand opening at some point in the autumn.
All episodes of the High Street Regeneration series are now available to watch on the Heritage Channel. Postcards from Cleethorpes is a fascinating film that follows the story of a titular song inspired by old postcards bought on social media. We caught up with composer Stuart Wood to find out more.
So I came to Cleethorpes for the day and I ended up staying. I went onto Facebook Marketplace and there was this collection of postcards that my friend Elaine was selling. Her father had collected these postcards over a long period of time. They used to drive him to postcard fairs around the country, and his particular focus was Cleethorpes, which is where he grew up. But getting into the car and just like looking at them and turning them over and realising there was so much story in this, and I just saw it all just unfold as I sat in the car looking at them. Lee Waddingham put me in touch with Alice Murray, who is the sort of lead in the piece. And then from then I was able to bring on Sam Simmons, whose career is building in the local area. And then I worked with the Blaze Musical Theatre kids because I saw their panto in Louth, and they were just brilliant. They brought that kind of incredible energy to the end of the song. I formed a community choir, basically put a choir together which we recorded in Grimsby Central Hall, so captured the sound of that beautiful Methodist dome. We had the Back to Brass band. They brought this wonderful soul to the piece. We shot it in Cleethorpes in the winter, and we were very fortunate to film on the big wheel on the beach. The last day ever, they literally began dismantling the big wheel as we finished shooting on there. Alice was completely fearless being on this thing in sort of late September. The record comes out on the 18th of July, so it probably will be out there. And yeah, I think that's where the work starts. I think because it's been such a community-based project, we've already got a lot of goodwill behind it, and I think Facebook is really the place to find it. Postcards from Cleethorpes.
Thanks to support from the National Lottery Heritage Fund, Weelsby Hall in Grimsby is undergoing a £5 million restoration programme that will sympathetically restore this historic building for use by its current owners, Linkish Community Trust, in their valuable work to support some of the most vulnerable people in our society. We caught up with funding manager Natalie Lunt to learn more about the important work carried out by their team of volunteers and see progress on the restoration programme.
We're just nearing completion a 4-month programme of repair and renovation work to the former estate office at Weelsby Hall. It's undergone numerous repairs over that stage, including the repairs to the existing timber roof structure. The brickwork's been repointed in lime mortar and we've installed some new cast iron rainwater goods as well. Internally, we've removed one of the partition walls to make the space more flexible and usable for the volunteers. So the building will have a new use as a volunteer and community hub. So it will be home to our friends of Weelsby Hall, who are a really important part of this project.
It's a bit like coming home again because I've seen that building being used for so many different things over the time I was here, 20 odd years.
It will give us a room where we can meet on a regular basis. Initially we went round and catalogued everything in all the rooms, everything that could be affected by any renovation that was carried out, so that the developers could see what it was like at the moment.
I thought, yeah, I'd quite like to do something to help that building because I'm very fond of it. Spent a lot of time in it. That's why I decided to volunteer. I would say come along. It's a very friendly crew. You find yourself doing things you didn't think you were going to be doing. Come along. It's a part of Grimsby's history which, if we're not careful, would have been completely forgotten.
Do it. It's really good. You meet so many people, so many walks of life.
Our friends of Weelsby Hall are really important to us. They're quite a major part of this project. They've undertaken a lot of the research into the history of the hall and the site and the family that lived here. There was quite little known about that before the volunteers came on board, and they've really informed the new interpretation scheme that will go in the hall. The volunteers have also been working on an oral history project as part of the wider project, so they've been interviewing lots of former staff and people who've been connected with the hall and uncovering some hidden stories about its past. Once the estate office is complete, we'll be due to start work on the main hall and the courtyard building early next year.
Another element of the project has been capturing oral histories from people connected to the hall, including a descendant of shipping magnate George Frederick Slate, who built Weelsby Hall as a family home in the 1890s.
My name is Edward Watkins, and my connection with Weelsby Hall is that my great-grandfather built this. He was George Frederick Slate. But of course I never knew him because he died long before I was born. I've worked all over the country, but never quite made it to Weelsby Hall. Finally got here. Of course, what's really exciting is as you've got this photograph, haven't you, of all the family sat right here. And so I'm standing for the first time in my life at the spot where that photograph is taken. My granny hadn't quite been born at that point, so she's not in the photo. But there were 9 children, and she was the youngest. But all the other children are in this photograph. Of course, my main memory of it comes through my second cousin, who was called Michael Slate. He was a grandson of George Frederick Slate. He lived in Binbrook Hall, was an incredibly knowledgeable man. He knew all the dates, knew all the history, knew everything there was to know about Weelsby, and it's just sad that he's not here today, because he would be telling you everything you want to know. As a child, I remember going to Kelston Hall, and we'd have great grand teas there, very English teas. And of course, Kelston Hall was one of the halls of Lincolnshire that George Frederick Slate owned. So my early childhood memory is very much lunch with Michael Slate and his housekeeper, Miss Newcomb, who was to be feared, and then tea with Mum in Kelston. It was a good day out, a grand day out.
All fascinating oral histories of Weelsby Hall will be available soon on the Linkage webpage and the Heritage channel. If you're interested in volunteering as a friend of Weelsby Hall, you can contact them on the email below. The Linkage students are also playing an important role in the restoration programme, with training from the Hammond House team and working with artist Nicky Dilliston to produce a wall hanging for the grand entrance hall.
The intention is to create a really big textile hanging to hang on this wall here. And the intention, which I found really, really interesting, was to create this piece, but very much in collaboration with the students. So it's not a case of me producing the work, it's a case of me sharing my skills with the students and then them learning from that and producing work, which in term 1 has worked beautifully. We've produced some fantastic pieces. So I've got 3 more terms, and each term I work with a different set of students. So I work with a small number, which I think guarantees greater success in that I get a chance to work one-to-one with quite a lot of them, which is just lovely. It will be ready by September 2026.
We will be following the progress of the historic Weelsby Hall in Series 4 starting in September. In the meantime, here's a review of Series 3 and our partnership programmes. The Heritage Channel was funded by the National Lottery Heritage Fund to explore and promote the heritage of North East Lincolnshire through a community TV channel and social media platforms. The current Series 3 ran from September 2023 and is due to finish in August 2025. By the end of the programme, we will have broadcast 36 monthly magazine programmes with total viewers of 3 million, average viewing figures of 38,000 and peak time viewers of anything up to 610,000 through our network of 380,000 subscribers. Documentary features include Grimsby Minster, the Pilgrim Fathers and Grim and Havelock Legend. Events at our cupboard include Festival of the Sea, the Afro-Caribbean Festival and Armed Forces Day. We have supported local organisations delivering Lottery Heritage funded projects, including Linkish Community Trust, North East Lincolnshire Council's Townscape Project and Grimsby Town Football Club. We have also developed the capacity of people and organisations in North East Lincolnshire to produce broadcast quality video content, with up to 150 people and 30 organisations involved, including 50 young people and 6 schools and colleges. We are now planning an application to the National Lottery Heritage Fund for Series 4 of the channel. This will include live streaming, development of digital broadcasting, more training opportunities and extending our working in partnership opportunities. The full story of Series 3 and our partnership programmes is available now on the Heritage Channel link below. Victorian entrepreneur Sir Edward Watkins has been the subject of a project by Heritage Lincolnshire working with pupils from 5 local schools to produce a short film and digital trail about the Railway King. We caught up with them at the Parkway Cinema in Cleethorpes for the premiere.
Thanks to the Heritage Fund, thanks to lottery players, we've been able to deliver the story of Edward Watkins, Mr Grimsby, Mr Cleethorpes, the little-known story of the man who brought the railway to Grimsby Docks and to Cleethorpes to create the seaside town that we love today. We worked directly with 5 schools in the Grimsby and Cleethorpes region, and they contributed to making the film. So we premiered that film today here at Parkway Cinema. So the young people are the stars, and that's what's made this really special.
We found out there was an opportunity for us and we started to work on it and we just got really excited for what the project would bring.
I first heard about it when one of my friends, Jackson, who was already in it, was talking about him and Isabella being in it. But as Miss Bedwell came to collect them, they also called us. So we had no idea.
Yeah, we honestly no idea.
We didn't know what was going on.
The best thing for me was the collaborative work with everybody involved.
Okay, the best thing really was the film, right?
I knew a bit about him, but I really didn't know. But I feel like after the project, I now know a lot more.
I didn't even know he existed.
Well, Edward Watkins is a vital story in North East Lincolnshire and played a really important role in the development of both Grimsby and Cleethorpes. And what we're trying to do through the creativity strategy and the support of National Lottery Heritage Fund is really showcase those stories locally.
The power of this project is that the young people are learning about how important the history of Grimsby and Cleethorpes is, gives them a real sense of pride and ownership of that history, and inspires them to do great things in the future, and that's the power of this project.
Unseen Arts have been teaching traditional circus and cabaret skills from their dance studio on Grimsby Docks. We caught up with director Lindsay Wells to find out more about their popular workshops and ambitious plans to turn their heritage building into a multidisciplinary art centre.
I just had an idea one day about creating sort of a safe space for emerging artists or hobbyists or people who just want to get into the arts. The journey was actually quite seamless and it was quite organic in the way that we've grown as an organisation. We then looked to get a space and then we founded Unseen Arts. Started doing quite a few events and commissions and things like that whilst we was looking for a home. We found the docks. So that was amazing. This space that we're in now is essentially a performance space. We always wanted to have a semi-small arts centre, and that's always been the aim, so we can cater a wide variety of arts and different disciplines. It's really, really exciting that we've managed to secure the full building on the docks. We are currently in the works and drawing up the plans to start the building works, which is going to offer an event space, a cafe space, it's going to be accessible, and we're going to restore all the old windows, get the roof done so we have no more leaks on the docks. It's really big for us and it's going to be quite game-changing. We're really excited to see the building be fully brought back to life. We do have a student called Eloise who started with us right at the beginning. So her success has been really, really amazing. So she actually has been successes for the Billboard showcase. So it's really nice to see that growth in that journey and beyond that with her.
The Billboard Showcase project is supporting local artists to develop a career in traditional skills, from making hats for special events, changing racial perceptions through their paintings, to travelling the world creating public art.
The Billboard Showcase is a really exciting new programme from Billboard TV. We're funded by Arts Council England and Create North East Lincolnshire. And what we're going to do is help 6 local artists develop a sustainable career from their chosen discipline. Writers, artists, sculptors, woodworkers, dancers, anything goes. And we've been absolutely overwhelmed with the response.
You can follow the adventures of these 6 amazing artists on our sister channel, Billboard TV. Jessica has also been championing Cleethorpes in a recent article in The Guardian, reflecting on her childhood memories, the changes after 20 years away, and its growing re-emergence as a popular seaside resort following plans for a £13 million regeneration programme and a direct train link from London. Sea Like a Mirror, a newly commissioned artwork to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the Royal National Lifeboat Institution, was recently displayed in Cleethorpes to mark the completion of the new lifeboat station. White Horses by Ivan Morrison combines sculpture, 6mm film and music in an immersive event that shares the stories and experiences of our NLI crew and local people with a deep connection to the water. In other heritage news, Everybody Loves the Sunshine is a boutique music festival coming to Cleethorpes on the 5th of August, bringing jazz, funk, soul and everything in between from Spencer Booth and Tara Lilly and a host of other artists. Details and tickets from the Culture House website. Thanks to funding from the National Lottery Heritage Fund, a grant of up to £10,000 is available from North East Lincolnshire Council for local organisations to tell stories about historic buildings, cultural heritage or natural heritage. Full details from the Create NEL website. Legends and Landscapes is offering young people who love storytelling and history a unique chance to gain some hands-on experience with a Heritage Channel production team and our partners Unseen Arts and the Culture House. The 2-hour workshops at the Living Room in Cleethorpes on the 29th of July and Project Renewables in Grimsby on the 5th of August will be followed by a guided walking tour discovering hidden stories and historic landmarks. You can find out more information and book your place at the Culture House website. The Heritage Explorers Summer Club is a parallel project from Our Big Picture that offers a new pathway to exploring heritage and art for children and young people. Held every Wednesday throughout August in different venues across North East Lincolnshire. You can find out more from the OBP team at the email below. And finally, local band Healer are following in the great musical tradition of writing, producing and performing their own songs. You can download their latest single release, Bad Patterns, on all popular streaming platforms. Well, that's all from the Heritage Channel team tonight. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next month for our final programme in the current series of heritage news, views and stories from our historic coastal community. This programme was made with support from the National Lottery Heritage Fund.